Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I'll push past the pain and my wounded pride.
Well, I guess we're going now. Wait a second. No SD card. No SD card. No SD card. Hold on. No SD card.
Oh, great.
Oh God, no SD card. Hold on.
Great way to start the morning. Hello, everyone in Radio Land.
I've almost got it.
Come on. Stretch those ab muscles. Come on.
Here.
Come on.
I can't find the hole.
Ah, is there no hair around it?
There's no hair around it. Okay, let's try it again. Push the button. Dome, 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 dome. Okay, now we're going. Ready?
Are you
1, 2, 3. Okay, hello. I'm back.
Did you see how late I stayed up last night?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, my gosh. What are you doing?
It's my mouth. The fucking corners of my mouth. It's like,
It's like you're trying to get peanut butter off the roof of your
not.
mouth. What?
it's that yuck water bullshit. When you drink that yuck water, it goes to the corner of your jaws.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, and then it sticks there, and you get this thing in the
Oh, my
corner of your
gosh.
jaws. And it's like,
Dr. McDreamy said you need one every day, at least one.
well, the stuff's gross, and it tastes gross. It's fucking
Oh, my
filthy.
God. It's not the worst thing you've had in your mouth. Just
Oh,
get
my
over
God.
it. Would you just do the intro?
Welcome. Can't believe you said that.
Come
in front Of
on.
everybody. Welcome to the Gen X Talks.
Start over. Try again.
Welcome to the Gen X Talks podcast, broadcasting from the KGXT studios, 200 feet below occupied California. All right, we're on time. I have no idea if we're broadcasting.
Well, Trippy Dippy 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 Pineapple says everything sounds good over the air.
Because I went to click on the butt,
I know you did.
and it was gone.
I know.
With 90 seconds left, I had to download the app.
I couldn't believe it.
It was gone. It was just, I don't know what happened.
I can't believe you made it on time. I was holding my breath going, oh, great, we're going to have dead air in about 5 seconds.
You know what? And we start off the podcast, and you have to talk about bad tasting things that have been in my mouth. Now I
Hey,
gotta
you
go-
brought it up.
I just said the yuck water was gross. Now I got to go delete that part
Why?
because people are going to wonder what I've had in my mouth. That's not a good thing.
So?
I'm moving on. I'm not.
Let people's imagination go wild, okay?
Yeah, if I start talking about it, you're going to bring up every girl I ever dated. So forget it.
So yesterday afternoon, I was so tired, remember? I was like, man, it's this barbecue kicked my ass.
It did. Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just go to bed early because we didn't have a staff meeting or whatever. And then I went to bed and I'm reading a book. And then I got into the book and I couldn't go to sleep. So it was so late. Did you see?
Well, I had a tough time because of my knee, but every time I turn around, you were reading something. Yeah, but you're up. I can't tell if I wake up at midnight, then I wake up at 4. If you've been up the whole 4 hours, or if that's 2 times you were up.
No, I usually don't. But last night was, I don't know. See, I'm going to yawn.
Now you're yawning again.
I'm
Here's
tired.
one.
Now I'm tired again because I didn't get my 8 hours.
On there. 6
Stop
yawns.
it.
We're doing 6 yawns.
Stop it.
It's the betting pool.
So tonight's Pigskin Pick'em. Did you do your picks?
My what?
Your picks. Your NFL picks.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
We had a pretty big bump on people joining the Pigskin Pick'em.
Yeah.
After you posted, what'd you do last week or something?
No, it was I even did one yesterday. I went public with it, and I put up the picture of it. I put up a link to how to join it, and then I did write on there briefly. I said, I said this is not a fantasy football league. You don't pick your players. You just pick the winners. You just guess. There's no point spread.
No, there's not.
It's free.
simple.
You just sign up, and there's prizes. If you win, you're going to get a 12-month naked pinup calendar of Gen X Mom.
What?
I
You
made
did
sure-
not. Wait, you did not. That is a lie.
It's a lie that I said it, or it's a lie they're going to get it.
Both. You better not have.
Let's just say that was a half-truth.
Oh, my goodness. I can't
Yeah.
believe you said that.
You did. I think without getting into numbers, remember, you're not allowed to say numbers on here.
Yes, dear.
I want to say we're probably triple from last year,
I think so.
which is good.
I think
Those are
so.
good
I
numbers.
checked this morning. Everything looks good. I sent out my email to people to remind them just to get them going. I'm not doing it every week.
No, for those of you that you're thinking about it, it's just picking what team's going to win. You don't have to know anything about football. I know girls that play that literally just go by what team has the better uniforms.
That week, yeah.
That's
or what
all.
game it is,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, I like the name of that team, or oh, I like the color of their their uniforms. They don't care. They're just playing for fun. It doesn't cost you anything. So
No.
I don't have, obviously I can't put up a link for you right here because we're on the radio. But if you go to genxtalks.com, it's like the first or second thing
Yeah.
on there.
But it closes tonight.
Especially
I'm
when you're on
closing
your
it down.
phone. So if you just click the link that says Pigskin Pick'em, you'll see the picture, scroll down, and there's a link. You just join with your email, and you remember to play every week. It's a lot of fun.
Exactly. Oh, we're going to have prizes throughout the season too, and you don't have to be in first place.
No, see, I was wondering how we were going to do that. Are you just going to give, because it's always in the beginning, it's like you, Dr. McDreamy, and 3 other people that are always in the top 5. I thought, well, this is dumb to give prizes away like that to the same 5 people every week.
No, I'm going to mix it up. Like maybe number 20 through 30 is going to get their name put into a bowl or a thing, and I'm going to have you draw their name live.
I like it better when you did just the top 10 because it makes people try for the top 10. I think that's a better way to mix it up, or the top 20.
What do you mean, for prizes?
Yeah, don't do like 20 through 30 because
Why?
there's no motivation to win. People could skip playing and go, well, I might get a prize anyway. She's picking 40 through 50.
We'll see how it goes. I
So,
don't know.
MarcyZavala.com, MarcyZavala.com, MarcyZavala.com.
A few people were looking for
I
at the
need to
barbecue.
tell everybody who doesn't remember what she does, she saves your life. The truth is, and we have gone through this. You had cancer, and 10 years after cancer, we could never solve your pain. We tried every voodoo snake oil, fly to Venezuela thing there was. Nothing worked.
Yep.
They finally
but
just said, you're going to have to live with it.
Yep. Yes, they did. But she becomes a partner through this whole thing. That's what it is. She works with you.
I was amazed that working with her and Dr. Dreamy with you, that changing your diet and changing by you. She had an individual. That's the individual test is for you. She doesn't have a book.
No.
You can't buy a book that fits everybody. Her diet was geared just towards what she saw on your blood work and
Yes.
stuff, along with Dr. McDreamy. And I could tell you 3 or 4 months into this, you were doing great. Which leads me to sunny point number 2 about the barbecue. You said you were tired and hurting. You've been wiped out since the barbecue, but this has nothing to do with Marcy.
It's just getting old.
This is just you wore yourself out. True story, just so
yes.
you guys know. But MarcyZavala.com did not make it to the barbecue.
No, she did not. And there were people looking for her. I do want to say that one of our members has been working with her since like January. And this one person, can't say her name, has lost 50 pounds since January because she's partnered with Marcy Zavala. So it's out there.
There were some people looking for Marcy. In fact, so many people kept asking about her. I got tired of making excuses. And finally, towards the middle of the barbecue, when people would come up and say, hey, is Marcy here? Where's Marcy? Why didn't she show up? I finally just said, I started saying, well, she's a bad person.
Oh, you did not.
Yeah, I go, she doesn't care about barbecues, doesn't care about people.
She was a little busy.
Care about public. No, I know she was busy, but I got tired of saying that. So I just told everyone she was a horrible person. That's why she didn't show up.
Gosh.
And only good people showed up. That made the people that were here feel great. Plus, they can all now go, God damn it, fucking Marcy.
Marcy.
Yeah, so that's how I handled that.
I don't know.
You know what? It didn't matter what I said about Dr. McDreamy. I could have said, Dr. McDreamy didn't show up because he's an asshole and hates everyone here. And they would all still go, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's fine. He can have a pass on that. God damn it.
What's wrong with that?
There's a lot wrong with that. Well, he's made such a good impression, you can't even tear him down without people smiling, going, it's all right. I don't care.
I think somebody over here, one of us, had a rough barbecue night with a little bit of alcohol, maybe?
I drank a little bit. I'm proud of myself that I only had half of a Coca-Cola because I gave up soda. And those are my sippy chasers. But I hurt my knee, and I don't know when.
Drunk walking.
Well, that's what you think. I just don't know.
What else could you have done?
I don't remember banging it on anything. I think I twisted it and just didn't know.
Jumping in the pool off the diving board?
Was that with the triple Lindy?
Going down the slide, maybe?
On a skateboard? Yeah, the Trip says, Trippy Pineapple, owns that. He said he goes, I think I know what happened to you when you got up from the fire pit and you walked around the fire pit to get out from people's feet and stuff and move there. He says you didn't trip over anything, but you did step really funny coming away from it. And I went, yeah, I kind of remember that. Maybe that was the part where I just twisted.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. It used to be we used to party so long we needed to sleep off the alcohol. Now we're old and we need to rest our bodies.
You just got to, it's no longer get the rest, get some sleep, get the alcohol out of your system. Let's get going. Now it's rest until the pain goes away.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. So,
Whatever.
hey, we get some viewer questions all the time. We really need to do a show just answering all of them, I think.
I think we could do a whole show just on emails we get from people saying, hey, I have a question for your podcast.
Yes.
There's got to be 100, 1,000 of them.
A lot. No one wanting to know us or wanting to know something that's going on. But one really weird one showed up as a very serious question.
So
Are you ready?
We're doing one now.
Well, yeah, maybe a couple.
All right, go.
So here it is. You ready?
Yep.
Are you buckled down?
For a question? Yeah,
Yes.
I think I can handle the question.
Okay. So recently, in the last 10 years, let's say, okay?
Right.
Have you ever told a girl, I love you, other than me? Like platonically, like
not
just
our daughters or
nobody, no relation or anything. Have you ever told a woman, maybe not a girl, a woman,
that I
can't be our kids,
that I wasn't trying to have sex with?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know that's a criteria. Oh yeah, I forgot you guys lie when that comes to that.
Okay, let me see if I get you.
And don't switch it on me yet. I asked
caught me
you.
off guard. No, I won't. I'll answer first. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like Mary Mathis, Mindy. I have said, hey, look, I love you, and if you need me, I'm there for you. And I meant it. It wasn't in passing. I meant it. Yeah.
Okay.
I could probably think of women.
Other
girls.
than past girlfriends too.
No. I haven't had a girlfriend in the past 10 years. So, nice try.
I was fishing. You never know.
No, but like I would say Mary, Mindy, I would guess there's probably 3 or 4
Wow.
that I have said that I love you to, like when I'm hugging them and saying, listen, it's, if you need me for something, I'm there for you. Don't.
Okay.
And I meant it because I've known them for 40 years and I felt like saying it. Yeah, I guess that would be true.
All right. So what about a guy?
What do you, I thought we were going to turn this around on you.
So
Have you?
told a girl?
Yeah. Or a guy.
Yes.
That's it.
I think girls say it a lot easier. I mean, there's some girls that go, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you to everything. But for me, I reserve it for really special people.
Girls do say it a lot. They say I love you bye all the time to everybody. It's like, I love you, I love you.
Yeah,
I mean, you hug people walking out the door that you've known for a long time, and I've heard you say it like, okay, I love you, see you next time. I don't say it when I walk out the door to say, hey, thanks for coming, see you next time. You do.
Not everybody.
No, but I think girls give that away. I think they're able to give that away more freely.
I think so. I think that's very, very true. But I'm just saying I'm a little different where I reserve it for like really special people.
Right. I would agree with that. I'm just saying you do it for
So
everybody.
again, have you told a guy?
Wow, just going to come right back to that.
Of course I am.
You're not going to let me.
You're not going to get off the hook with that one.
I would say, I don't know, since we've been married or something the last 20 years, I guess. First of all, let me back up. I probably only feel that way. And not talking family. You're not talking about my grandfather or something.
No, I'm not talking any relation.
I get what you're saying.
No children.
No. I probably feel that way where I have like that type of a bond. If I really thought about it, maybe with 3, maybe 4 guys my entire life.
Wow.
I've been 56 years on this planet. If I really thought about it, I could probably name you probably 7 or 8 women that I would go, yes, I love them. If they need me, I'd be there.
Okay.
Maybe 3 guys total in 56 years. And out of the 3 guys that pop in my head that are my friends, I bet I've said it to just 2 of them. In past one, I'm thinking I might have. Another one, I do actually remember saying.
But what does it mean when you tell a guy like that, I love you? What does that mean, a guy to a guy? Like, what is that? Like, because there's different types of love.
Okay, I was this was 4-5 years ago.
Okay.
I was on the phone with this guy, this person. I've known him my entire life, and he's. The funny part is he's probably listening. And I said we were talking about something, and it was. Not a low point in my life. Like wasn't planning on dying or anything, but we were having a conversation. I was driving. I know exactly where I was too, and I was on Allen
That's
Road
cool.
heading south almost to White Lane. And I to this person, I said, look, not saying I'm going to die in a car wreck tomorrow, but we've been friends for 45 years. I just need you to know all the stuff you've done for me and my family. I need you to know that I love you like a brother. I do. And if there's anything you ever needed, I wanted you to know I'd be there for you. But that's my connection with you, just so you know. And you've earned that spot. That's how I think that's almost word for word.
Was it reciprocated? Do you remember?
I think
or was it a one-way thing where you threw it out there and there was dead silence?
No, it was not dead silent. I think the guy said the same words, or I feel the same or something. But then we moved on. We didn't linger on it. This wasn't a romantic thing. You say it and you move on.
You want to know what the next step is after you say I love you?
There's no next step. There's no, dude, so do we date now or what?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Is it hard to say or admit it? Like to another guy? A guy to a guy. Is it hard to say that?
It was difficult for me to find the right words to say it without what I thought was going to sound stupid. I thought it was like, I just want to say, hey, look, man, I love you like a brother. I've known you for 45 years. You mean that much to me. But I didn't want to sound stupid. So I think the hard part is finding a way to say it where you don't sound horribly dumb. So is it hard to say? No, not the part where you're saying something from the heart, because you're talking about 3 people that I even think that way about in 45 years or 50 years. No, I don't have a problem feeling that way, but saying it, I just don't want to sound like an idiot.
So you reserve it for,
out of 3 people, I know I've said it once. I think I said it to one of my other best friends who lives back east. And the third person, I know I've never said it to, but I do feel that way, like a brother. I love that guy like a brother.
Okay, that was cool. Thank you. That's what I want to know.
Why would you want to know that?
Well, somebody asked, and I thought it was a very interesting
so
question.
Then you're not getting off the hook that
Well, I
easy.
already answered the question.
Okay, so tell me, name me a guy that you have said I love you to that you weren't having a sexual thought about.
I can tell you one right off
just a guy.
right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Like just within the last few weeks.
Well,
Do I say his name?
You've told a guy you love him in the last few weeks?
Probably.
Where was I?
He's probably listening too right now.
Holy shit. What?
No, this was because like you said, he means a lot to me. Same thing. I would, do anything for him and like be there for him and everything. And I believe it was Trippy. He was up here on the weekend.
Trippy Pineapple. I know, but that falls in the kid category a lot.
No, it doesn't.
It
I
does
hugged him
quite.
and was like, I love you. Like, I just wanted him to hear that. And
Okay, other than Trippy, over the last 20 years we've been
my
married,
goodness.
have you ever told, okay, switch to girls. Who have you ever looked another a girl and looked in the eye and said, hey, just so you know, I love you. And
I told that to Mary Mathis on the barbecue day.
so we both love Mary Matt.
And I did it because she was like my right-hand person for the barbecue. And
She's done that for you for everything.
Yeah, and I don't think I've told her enough how much I appreciate her. And especially this barbecue was very tough on me.
Yeah.
And I really needed her this year. And she was above and beyond
Yeah,
my
she did
person.
really good. All right.
So I remember just giving her a hug and go, I want you to know I love you. Thank you so much.
Let me ask you this. Now, without names, how many girls or women do you feel that way about? Like you really believe that in your whole life? How many?
In my whole life?
Yeah, from right now, if you looked out and you said, I'm going to start counting, how many do you feel that way about? Would you guess?
Not very many.
That's not a number.
5 or less, maybe, if I had to really think about
Okay,
it.
what about girls? I mean, guys, how many men out there fall in that category of like, yeah, you'd be there for me?
Not many. Not many. Probably the same.
See, your number's a little higher than mine, but that's the way I feel too. I don't have a lot of close friends anymore. We did growing up. Remember, we used to hang out with couples and hang out with groups. We used to go places and do stuff all the time. And as we got older, we just kind of pulled ourselves away to just be us.
But you notice that we always tend to go back to the people that we grew up with or the ones that we know so much about. And it seems like our special friends right now are the ones we've known since, we were little. And I know without saying I love you or, going that deep, I know there are people that I could just pick up the phone and call that I
Yeah.
haven't spoken to in years, and they would be there for me.
And
I mean,
you'd pick up the conversation like right where you left off.
Exactly. And I love that.
Yeah.
I know that without a doubt that if I did that these people would be there for me.
Well, that was a lot deeper of a conversation than I thought
Hey.
that was going to go.
So the barbecue is officially over.
Yeah, it is.
What was the best part for you?
Oh, without a doubt, the challenge coin that I got
Yeah.
from John. Was it John Jensen, right?
Yes.
I keep want to say his name is Jason, and it's not John
No,
Jensen.
it's John Jensen.
I've gotten some challenge coins before, and if you guys know what those are, there's some that I'm not going to say they're meaningless, but there's some that people give away because they get a box of like 20. And they're like, these are really important. Give these away to important friends of yours. All right. But there's also ones that are passed along. The ones that was given to a person, and that person, let's say a person gets 3 of them in his life. When he decides to pass one of them along, it's a very big deal. When John shook my hand, he palmed it, and he had it in between our hands, and I knew right away what it was. And I just said, "Are you sure?" And because I know the severity, I know the meaning. He didn't hesitate.
No.
But you hung out with him a little bit too.
Oh my gosh. He was the most interesting man, and I loved talking to him, and I just wanted to listen to all his stories. He had this demeanor about him that was calm, and he was smiley, and we just sat and we talked, and he told me a lot of different stories that happened in his life. And he's lived a life. I mean, in the short time that I spoke to him, I just would love to sit down and just talk to him and
Yeah,
just
so would I.
listen. I told you, I said he'd be great on the podcast,
He
an
would.
interview.
You know what? If we do, I'm not sure if we're going to do it, but if we do the Vegas blowout this year in January,
Yeah.
I would like to spend like a week there in Vegas, and I would, a little bit before everybody gets there. And if people like John showed up, I'd like to have, if we get one of those suites with the big dining room table where we can set up a podcast, I'd love to sit and maybe have 2 or 3 people like him do that and have just listen and record it, because you're talking about a guy who was in Vietnam.
Yes.
Then he was a cop, and he's seen he's an older guy. He's seen a lot of shit go on in this country, and yet he'll sit there with the most calm demeanor and look at you like it's all in the background of his mind, but none of it's coming out. It's an amazing thing. You just want to tap in and go, tell me the stories.
I know, exactly.
really
That's
do.
how I was. If I could have taken everybody else away at the barbecue, I would have sat with him for hours if I wasn't so busy.
This challenge coin, I've still got it. I didn't put it away yet with all the other ones.
Nice.
I still, in the mornings when I'm getting set up and getting ready to start my day, I take this thing out and I just flip it like Val Kilmer does in Top Gun and in Top Secret. I just flip it.
Oh, brother,
I
Val
know.
Kilmer.
I just telling you, I just got it. So, yeah. I don't know. What else was there? What else?
Then your
happened?
other buddy showed up, Cigar Scotty
Oh, yeah.
and Larry. They're always a good time.
Yeah, when you have Cigar Scotty and Larry the Cable Guy show up from Sacramento, they're part of the Loomis Cigar Cartel. It's almost like we are the Three Stooges.
Oh
when
my
we drink.
gosh. I had to call it. I finally had to come in and go, okay, you're done.
Yeah, boys, tear down the fort.
It was ridiculous.
This was round 2 of the He-Man Woman Haters Club,
No
which
kidding.
was really funny. to
Yeah,
go
and that came to fruition because you hurt Sammy's feelings.
Oh my God, I know. Okay.
No, it's not okay, and it's not you
Okay.
hurt her feelings.
Listen, okay, Sammy Jo got her feelings hurt. I'm going to tell you the story real quick. Then you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Oh my gosh,
you
here we
guys
go.
decide. No, because you're casting aspersions without facts.
I do know the facts.
I'm going to say them again anyway.
She was a moderator.
She's a moderator, and she knows
was
we're
supposed
going
to be
live.
in here.
No, she's not. Let me tell my story, woman, or I will raise up and lay hands on you.
Oh man, you want to go right now?
You want to go?
We'll do it live right now.
I will.
On the radio, let's go.
I had a brick.
I had a brick. I bust your ass right now.
So we discussed, Trippy Pineapple and I, we had discussed, Tripp's been my, he's not only high-ranking staff member here at Gen X Talks, but he was here all weekend. And we're talking about it, going, okay, we got to get all the cameras working. We got to get all the mics working, all the lights. This is going to be a big live stream.
Okay.
I said, we will do a big live stream from the studio. And said, we're going to have Scotty in here. We're going to have Larry in here. I said, Low Torque will be by. I said, we'll fill up the other chairs. It'll be like the He-Man Woman Haters Club. And as we're talking about this, we've talked about it several times. One of them, Sammy Jo, was present for the conversation. And I said, you're not going to be in here. No girls are going to be in here. We call it the He-Man Woman Hitters Club with the Little Rascals. We did it before. We're doing it again. You're not going to be in here. She goes, but I'm a moderator. I go, there's lots of moderators. Disney Kid's moderating from back east somewhere in North Carolina. So he doesn't have to be in the room. I go, Gen X mom, Mama X is going to moderate. She's not going to be in the room. So now she knows this. She knows it's a gig. She knows it's boys only. She knows what it's called. She's been told. And guess what? When Trippy and I came in here and said, okay, guys, let Trip and I go in, get the room set. We'll call you in here one by one and we'll get you in your seats. Trip and I come in the room. She comes in too and sits down. Now, she knows she's not supposed to be in here. She knows she was told no women, no chicks. We're just doing a guys thing. But she came in and sat down anyway. And why? Because she knows that when I make her leave, then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. I can't believe you're kicking me out. Well, you weren't supposed to be in here. We talked about this. You're being mean to me. No, I'm being mean to all women. There are no women coming in here. There's no women going to be in here. But I'm a moderator. I have to moderate from in here. No, people are moderating from all sorts of places. And it was just time for her to go. And then she goes around telling everybody how mean I am that I kicked her out. But you know what she forgot? She forgot to tell everybody that she knew in advance she wasn't supposed to be in here. And who's the first one to come knocking on my door to make me feel bad? You.
Yes.
You did. And I'm like, oh my God.
But you could have done it a lot nicer than
I tried to
throw
do it
her
when
out.
she didn't show up. I did it in the beginning. Don't come in here. Then there's no kicking out. I tried to avoid.
Did she think you were joking?
Well, no, but I'm sure she'd say that. Anybody? Well, are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious.
I still think you hurt her feelings.
Well, if she got her feelings hurt, she let her feelings get hurt. I was very upfront about the whole thing. That was it. So, yeah, I hurt her feelings. All right, I'm a terrible guy. God forbid I should set some rules up in place, and then when someone breaks the rules, I'm in trouble for enforcing the rules.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
That clearly makes sense in woman logic. Every guy out there listening to this story is going, sounds right to me. Every guy. There's not one guy, even Trippy, who's listening right now, and Sammy Joe is walking right next to him. In his brain, he's agreeing with me, but outwardly, he's got to say, oh, yeah, he was wrong. He was.
Oh,
but
my
in
gosh.
his heart, Tripp is on my side. I was very upfront.
He's not going to say a word.
No, he's not, because
He's not getting involved
No,
at
he's
all.
not.
Oh, my gosh.
The only thing that a couple things that happened with and thinking about the barbecue. One is Briggs drove Loud One to the airport, and we have a Life 360 app where our family, we can all track each other. Where are we? If something goes wrong, we can get to each other.
Yes.
There was an alert sent to my phone while he was on the freeway taking him to the airport. It pops up on my phone with a picture of Briggs. Then it pops up with a picture of a race car. Then it pops up with 85 miles an hour.
I didn't even know that they have alerts.
Yes, I've gotten my fair share of alerts about you, too.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. I just don't bother you with them. I pick my fights with
Damn
you. right.
Stay in your lane, babe. Stay in your lane.
Briggs gets back, and I'm like beating him up about, don't fucking drive my truck so fast. But he goes, listen, I'm just trying to get the barbecue behind me. I go, why? You have a good time? He goes, I had a great time. But he goes, all these old people like you
Old people.
keep giving me advice. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, this is Briggs' words. He goes, it's really funny.
Okay.
He says, everybody took their time to come up to me and who's listened to the podcast, who knows my story, who's been following the program for years, and they all think they're the only ones who come up and talk to me.
Okay.
So guy number one comes and says, well, son, I heard the podcast. Your dad's a little frustrated with your mom and dad here's some life choices that you should be making that you're not making. And he goes, all right. So I go through all that. Then the next guy comes up. Hey there, I just thought I'd come over here and tell you, here's how to fix your life. Then the next guy. Then the next guy. He goes, then I'm driving back and Loud One's telling me, oh, you're going to be a 1099 employee with your company? Well, here's what you should do. He's like, Loud One was like the 9th person to come up and tell me how life should be. Now, before I started to talk, I was going to interrupt him. He goes, Dad, I know what you're going to say. Everybody's just doing that because they care. They're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. He goes, but you old people are stupid.
Oh.
And here's why. He goes, what if I were to listen to those 9 people? He goes, do you realize that I got 9 different instructions?
Oh my goodness.
I got 9 different sets of what I should be doing. How do I do them all? They contradict each other. They're not all the same. It'd be different, Briggs said, if every one of them said the same thing. Here's what you should really consider. If 9 people said it, maybe I should consider it. That's a pretty good endorsement. But all of you old people said the same thing. I said, well, I hope you handled it with class and style. He goes, well, the first 3 I did. The last 6 I just said, yeah, my dad gives me advice. I don't listen to him either. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. How rude.
Oh, I know. He was just being a teenager, but he got through
How
it.
rude.
He raced around. But he did say, he goes, I did. He goes, he was kind. He was nice and gracious and appreciative. He goes, but everybody took time to lecture me and everybody had a different lecture. He goes, I'm going to disappoint somebody because I can't do all of them.
So true. I'm yawning again.
That's 2 yawns. You got to get to 6. So
I really thought Tu Bear was,
going to
going to
show.
surprise me and show up. I was hoping.
He wasn't going to.
I know.
Now,
Yeah.
wait.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Wait, I want to retro and I'll tie this back to your other story.
What?
Look me in the eyes because I'm going to tell. I can tell by which way you glance if you're lying. Ready? Look me in the eyes. You wanted Tu Bear to show up.
Yes.
Do you love Tu Bear?
I do love Tu Bear.
Yeah, see your eyebrows went up. You kind of sank into your microphone. I love Tu Bear.
I do.
All right.
He's been my personal bodyguard forever.
He has been, but there's also Tu Bear takes care of everybody he's around. He takes care of his wife 129%. He takes care of his kids. He takes care of his house. At work, I've seen him working there till 1 a.m. getting stuff done.
Yeah.
And he did it with Gen X Talks. When he was on staff, he did the same thing with Gen X Talks. However, he took a personal liking to you.
Aww.
He really did go out of his way to attend to your every need. Like he would be working with Gen X Talks, but if he saw you carrying something,
Yes.
or a door that needed to be open,
Yes.
or he was very attentive to you. So he does love everybody.
So I miss him.
I know you do. I know. I think you miss the idea of Tu Bear. You just need a Tu Bear. If
I
got
need
you
a Tu Bear.
Another Tu Bear. I think I could replace him.
Uh-oh.
If I could find someone else to be a Tu Bear. That should be a job position here at Gen X Talks. Fill out your application. What job am I getting? Janitor? No, you're being the new Tu Bear.
Wow, I don't know how you feel about that.
He'd fill out the application.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, all right.
So I guess we got to continue with our updates because everybody stays for the whole week wondering what's
Yeah.
going on. Do you have a Briggs update? Shh, be quiet because he's at the
here,
house.
I know. The thing that you guys aren't going to like about this update is the confusion.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he told me about it in passing yesterday.
Well, let me fill you in.
Is there more?
Well, I'm not going to listen to what you know and fill in the gaps. I'm just going to say what I know.
Of course you are.
So sit back and shut your cake
All
hole.
right. Well, go
Okay.
ahead.
You guys remember when he moved out, his boss, who's 22 years old, had said, come move in with me to my apartment. Get out of your parents' house, leave your parents, move in with me, sign the 1-year lease with me. And if this had been a daughter moving in with a 22-year-old boss guy, I would have kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would have beat the shit out of the guy. But this is a guy thing. I still think it was a very strange situation. It was dumb to pluck this kid out of his family and put him in he never lived anywhere. And now he's living in this high rent apartment and this room trying to fit in, and he's struggling with it. You guys know all those details in life. However, what came to light recently is now he's still struggling with food and gas and paying rent and working because he's working with his boss. So he can't even call in sick.
Nope.
Because his boss will go, you were fine this morning eating Cheerios, let's go. And now he says the boss is moving out and moving away because the boss doesn't really need to be in their store, their office every day. So he's moving somewhere else. And I said, well, who's going to pay the rent? He goes, well, he's bringing in another kid just like me and someone I know. And I'm like, wait a second. So now there's 2 of you 19-year-old idiots in an expensive. Who's going to pay for this? He goes, well, if we're short on it, he'll cover us. I said, so you're going to scrape every. I tell that motherfucker I'm short every month. You pay it. You're going to give up every penny you've got.
And why does
rent-
he get to just leave?
For rent and utilities. And if you're a little short, he'll cover the rest. So his ass isn't on the line because it's his. He signed on to the apartment. He signed on to the utilities. But he's only going to pay after you and your friend have spent every dime you have, and then you say, "Hey, we're still short."
And he's the one that picked the apartment.
He's the one who did all this.
Yes.
He's got these 2 kids enslaved to now this place. They're going to have to work 12-hour days just to not.
I don't like it. And I said,
either.
where's he going? What is he doing? Briggs said that he doesn't like Bakersfield, that he goes, I think he's going back to Santa Clarita. And I said, what?
Yeah, he's going back to be around his mom or something.
He's
moving back home, but Briggs can't.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sitting well with this, but I just went, okay.
The only thing good about that guy being there is he has lived on his own. So when Briggs got there, this guy could say, this is how you handle an apartment. You pay your bills, you make sure the counters are clean, you make sure there's food in the fridge. So Briggs was kind of catching on to some of that. Now there's going to be 2 19-year-olds in this apartment that don't have a clue to what they're doing.
It's like going off to college.
I don't know. I just think the whole thing is...
I don't know. It makes me feel weird about it. I think the guy's going to I don't know.
Well, he can't get out of the lease. He's the guy on the lease. You can't take his name off.
Makes me wonder how many times he's done this.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
I know he's done it one other time for sure because I heard a story about another guy doing this.
So is this his motive? Is this his thing to get these kids out there? I don't know. It's starting to sound like a cult to me.
Well, yeah, and people have called it that, a pyramid scam Cutco cult, but I don't know that it is. It gives me weird vibes. But also, Briggs is, in my opinion, Briggs is stepping on his dick a little bit anyway. The plan was after Addie graduates high school, they were moving up to Chico to go to college.
Right.
That's been the plan, going to be the plan, going to find a place, it's going to be so much fun.
Still her plan.
No, it's not.
Addie said that's her plan.
No, it's not, because Briggs came and says, then he said, oh, this is like months ago, he goes, okay, remember the plan where we're both moving up to Chico and going to college and I'm going to open up a Cutco store? I said, yeah. He goes, okay, so she's going to move up there and start school, and I'm going to stay down here one more year, really get my time under my belt, then I'll go up there. I said, okay. Then just yesterday, he said, well, I talked Addie into skipping 1 year of Chico.
Oh, shit.
And she's going to stay down here with me. I go, you are fucking with someone's life now.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same college classes. It's the same thing. You know, it's still a California State University, so she's really not going to be behind. She's going to have her classes. I said, then why go up there at all? What was the point of going up there at all if you can just do your classes down here and just stay here? You know, the reason you guys were going up there was to get away, and because of the programs that were up in that area were much better. They have, different colleges have different programs that they specialize in. That's why you're moving. And what's to stop you from taking her from 1 year down here to 2 years down here? I go, you're wrong for doing this. In my opinion, you should not have changed your girlfriend from her goals. Just because your goals are fucked up with your Cutco knife pyramid scheme cult, living with your boss, now your boss abandons you, let's drag my girlfriend down with me. I go, you should not do that to Eddie.
I agree.
But he's not listening. He just looks right through me. I'm just telling you, there's your update. I'm not happy with the choices.
He should not have made those calls about his girl.
No, shouldn't have done. He shouldn't talk her into anything like that. She should have just said, no, fuck you, I'm leaving. You want to go, then you better be up there. That's what she should have said. If I have my way, I'm still going to get her to say that.
All right, well, more to come.
Yeah, so that's, yeah. That's
So,
the
hey,
short
did you
version.
figure out all those wrenches things?
Yeah.
What that company was? I don't know who that sent you that. Well,
I don't want to say the name of the company just yet because I don't.
no, but what are those things?
They're oil filter wrenches, and they're really weird. Now, I've been in the industry 40 years.
Okay.
Those were very different oil filter wrenches, and they sent like 20 different sizes.
I know.
And there's 2 different designs. One of them was like, okay, that's okay, but I didn't know if it would work. I still got to try them, but I didn't know if it would work real well, and it might. But the second set, I was like, whoa, these are much better. The only thing that I question on, I'll show these on a garage show. We'll do a garage show like on Friday, and I'll show them.
Okay.
I just didn't know, as a mechanic, you have to have a lot of room around the filter for this type of wrench. It'd be like for people listening to me, imagine taking a pair of channel locks or a pair of pliers to take your oil filter off. Channel locks are very long. Their handles are long. So And like, let's say this microphone is my filter. If I don't have a lot of area around it, I can't get a big pair of channel locks on it because the handles will be way out here. Sometimes there's stuff right around the filter, and you got to get a socket in there. There's some that this would be very difficult to use, but the way they design this thing, on all of the filters that you can get it on, one tool, you'd have it off in about 8 seconds.
Wow.
Now
That's cool.
I got to go try it, but it was pretty cool of them to send these things over to have me look at them. You know? And I like it's a ratcheting design. That's the thing to tell you. It's in your hand. It fits in the palm of your hand, and it's a ratchet design. One of them, I think I have a design upgrade I could tell them to try to do, and the other one is pretty badass the way it is. I like it.
That's cool.
So that's all. But I did figure out who they were. Yeah, and they seem like, I went to their website. It seemed like some great guys. I'd probably have you call them and set up an interview, or I could just talk to them and see how they got there.
All right.
How they did that. So.
All right. Well, what's up with my favorite thing, the Grill Master? I haven't heard you talk about Grill Master.
Briggs wanted them to be a sponsor so bad. We did the interview.
So did I.
I know. We did the interview with them, the owner of the company, and he was a great guy and had like his #1 Grill Master guy on the interview with him. You guys can see it. It's on our website with our interviews. It's like three interviews ago. They were, even if we didn't do anything with them, I thought it was an absolute privilege to speak to these guys on how they got to there. And their product, the Grill Masters Club, is like it's one of those things where you what do you
I love it.
You subscribe.
Or I think you can also buy it singly. Like you can buy just one.
You can, but they send you a subscription every month. You get a box of cool stuff and a couple recipes. I loved it.
I did too. It was dry rubs and it was like some marinades too, and they were really good.
I don't think it worked out. I don't think it worked out for them. I don't think we're a big enough channel.
Ah, darn it.
I don't think that we have that what they're looking for, but they were nice about it. They've given us some stuff to give away, and they're a great bunch of guys in a great company. I just don't think that we matched what they were looking for.
What about Zippix? The one company I was like, man, I don't know about this, but wow, it has so many people.
The guy who we have another interview going to set up because we got postponed with him. But
right.
The guy who owns that company has such an interesting story. We did the first interview, which is also posted, and then we started doing some trading with sponsorships on his stuff. Everybody loves his product. They're nicotine sticks.
Yes.
They help you quit smoking.
Or vaping.
I can't tell you how many people hit me up at the barbecue. Do you have any of those? I go, no, go fucking buy them.
I know. People were asking me too.
Well, because they work.
Yeah, it was
really
crazy.
Well.
The one I was questioning, going, I don't know, how's this going to fit in? And now it's just amazing.
And
I love it.
He's a great guy with a great company. They're still expanding, and they're powerful, man. They work, and they help you. Your car doesn't smell like cigarettes. Your clothes don't smell like cigarettes. And it gives you, when you're putting a toothpick in your mouth, it gives you your muscle memory that same feeling of the cigarette or the vape.
How would you know?
Because I've been told. So it's those guys. Yeah, we're just going full speed. I like them a lot. They pay a couple bucks to throw some stuff our way. I like them a ton. And I wouldn't even talk about them if they weren't a good guy and a good company.
Cool.
I think they're, what is it? Is it ZippixSticks.com? Wait. Zippix nicotine sticks?
I don't know.
It's
I'm
one
not
of those.
sure.
Just Google Zippix nicotine sticks, and there's still a promo code Gen X Talks to get.
It's still active?
It's still active. Yeah, you can get some money off there.
Well, that's cool.
But we need to get wound back up with those guys again because I want to do another interview, and that's one of the ones that turned out to be one of the most fun.
All right.
It really has been.
Okay, we did a little Briggs update, but you really have to tell them what transpired over this week with Jade.
I don't want to.
Well,
I don't want to talk about her. I'm mad.
Finally.
What do you
Finally,
mean?
you're mad.
I've been mad.
No, you haven't expressed it.
I've been seething.
But I'm the one that's been boiling, and you're just sitting there going, it's okay. You were playing the girl in this incident.
What?
Yes, you're like,
take
it's
that
okay.
back.
It's okay. Things will work out.
God.
It'll be fine. She needs us.
Okay.
Da, da, da.
I'm only going to talk about it real quick. She stays in her room and doesn't come out.
Yeah, people
12
realize
hours a day.
that at the barbecue.
I mean, literally, if she has the day off, she doesn't come out to shower.
She
She comes out to go to the bathroom and to grab a little food, goes right back in the room, and she's there until the next day when she goes to work.
Yeah, and you know what? She was supposed to be the day before the barbecue. She was supposed to be at work. And then I walk outside and somebody asked me who this car is that was sitting there. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because we had people here over the
Right.
weekend. And I'm like, that looks like my daughter's car.
But
Wait, what?
She's at work.
She's supposed to be at work. And I think I called you or texted you and
Yeah.
went, what is
Yeah.
going on? So
She
she
got
didn't.
some weird message that the company that supplies her company had a train wreck or something. They
I don't know. Yeah.
She
They
go.
didn't need her or something
No.
that day. But people were asking about her on the day of the barbecue.
Because she was only out for like 12 minutes. She doesn't, I told her,
I know,
it's
I know.
unhealthy what you're doing.
She doesn't
For
care.
a depression, it's unhealthy to be in that dark room 12 hours a day.
She doesn't
She comes
care.
home, this is one. She'll come home from work, let's say, come home from work late, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, and she will go to bed. All day Wednesday, she'll stay in her room all day Wednesday night. Then Thursday morning, she'll go back up and go to work. She only comes out for quick food and to go to the bathroom, and she stays in that fucking dark room the whole time. And now I've told her, I said, I'm kicking you out. I said, get out of the fucking room. She goes, I don't understand. I'm pay rent. I said, I don't give a shit about your fucking rent. Keep your fucking rent. You're on a downward spiral. Get out of that fucking room. And now we're fighting over her actually getting out. I said, I will get you out and make you do chores all day. If you're going to sit in there, I will find something for you to do. I'm done with this. And now she knows where I'm at. I'm fucking done. If she's going to sit in her room, I'm going to put a time clock by her door, and I want her to clock in and out of that room. Let's see how often she's in there.
Oh my gosh.
I just
I don't want
to.
to.
I don't talk about it anymore. I want to talk about my global warming friends. I
What?
got rid of them.
What global warming friends? What are you talking about?
My global warming buddies, my online global warming friends.
You mean the people that email? They're called you. Do you have that labeled? All the emails you get. Do you have that labeled in your?
Yeah, they
thing?
always
Inbox?
start these arguments about global warming and the Earth and all this stuff.
Oh my gosh.
One of the things their favorite thing to send me an email is there's a glacier in Alaska. There's many glaciers.
Yeah, there's one called.
I know
our last
I
name.
don't know what doesn't matter, but they're all called something different. So there's 200 or 300 of them. But they show this once a famous picture, and they show this glacier that has retreated from the sea.
Retreated.
It is now, they show this glacier in 2024. It's, 1,000 yards deep in the coast. It's retreated up this canyon. And they show a picture from like 1900 where it's down at the water. And they say, look, this glacier used to be right here at the water's edge.
Okay.
The glacier came down this canyon, and it's right here at the water's edge. And look at from here to 2024. Look how far it has gone back up this canyon. It has melted and retreated up this canyon. Then they
Okay.
show me a picture from like 1850 where it's actually out in the water a little ways. So they got this picture from 1850 where this glacier is out in the water, 50 feet, from 1900 where it's right at the shoreline, and then 2024 where it's 1,000 yards way up this canyon. And they say, look at this. Look at global warming, what humanity has done, making this glacier retreat from the ocean back up this canyon.
All right.
So I doctored another picture. It took a long
Oh
time.
my gosh, you did
Because I'm
not.
not good at this. And I put them all in a row. I said, well, here's 2024. It's way up the canyon. Here's the 1900 picture where it's at the ocean's edge. Here's 1850 when it's out in the water. And here's a picture from 1700 where it's way out in the water. Now it's way out there. And I said, so from 1700 to 2024, this thing has retreated up this canyon. Well, what made it retreat so far from 1700 to 1900? That's 200 years, and it came out of the water and it retreated all the way back to the shoreline. I go, we didn't have automobiles. We didn't have industry. We didn't have anything. What made it retreat that far? Now, they have been struggling and angry trying to solve this. They have some of them written me emails going, I'll get back to you. I'm going to investigate this. There must have been something we were doing in the 1700s to cause this. Do you know what nobody said?
What?
Nobody said, how'd you get a camera to take a picture of a glacier in Alaska in 1702?
That's what I was going to say is like, who was holding that camera? I was going to say that.
If they would have asked me, I would have said, oh, okay, I just fucked with you. I just made the picture up. But no one has said anything yet. They're all angry. And
Conspiracy theory.
They want to argue this. They want to try to prove that humans ruined this glacier. But the truth is, no one has a picture of that glacier from 1700. By the looks of it, it probably was out in the water quite a bit further, but we don't have a picture of it. We only started taking pictures when we had cameras. And when we were taking pictures with cameras, we also had industry. So, of course, they all go hand in hand, and they blame humans on it. But I thought it was funny that I got them to shut up. I've not got one email that says that picture's fake.
And it was clear, and it was beautiful. No grainy look or anything.
No, I did make it
Was
grainy.
it a Polaroid where you like had to shake it?
I ran it through a filter to make it look old. I did.
Was a little yellow.
It was a little black and white with a little bit of hazelnut.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought you were
I'm
going
just saying that I
for.
finally got them to shut the fuck up a little bit.
Oh my
All I'm
gosh.
getting at here.
All right. Do you have a car story this week? I'm ready for a car story. It's story time with the general. Come on.
I do. I thought of one that was kind of it's not one like you think. It's more educational, and we've done some educational stories in the past.
Yeah, I like it when you do that.
Okay, so this woman comes in, and I think let's see. I don't remember what car it was now. I want to say it was like an old Chevy pickup. She had 190,000 miles on. I remember that it was close to 200,000 miles.
Okay.
And she had an oil leak. So we just put it in the shop, raised it up in the air. I grabbed my flashlight. I walked underneath it. And very clearly, I could see the oil pan was leaking. The rest of it, you could shine your light up and see most of the motor on a Chevy engine. And pretty easy to see everything. And you could see what's dry. It was a pretty clean engine for 190,000 miles. So I brought her out to the shop. I always used to bring my customers out and show them as much as I could. Come on out and let me show you things. They loved that, by the way. That became a big thing that I was the guy that would show them and explain stuff. Not rocket science to see some stuff. So I brought her out there and I said, well, here's your oil pan. And it's leaking. I said, you can look above it. Everything's pretty dry. There's no oil. I said, this is pan. She goes, okay. She goes, well, I don't have a lot of money. I said, well, you should probably reseal all of it. She goes, no, just let's get this done. All right. So I sealed it up. Away she goes. About a month later, her and now her husband come back in, and they have an oil leak, and he's pissed. He starts reading me the riot act. He starts telling me how, well, when I was a young man, I used to work on cars too, so I'm car smart, as they say. Now, I'm not a trained mechanic like you, but I'm car smart. Don't think I'm not car smart. He kept saying that word. It stuck in my head. I'm like, all right, dude, I get it.
Car smart.
He goes, so I want you to raise this up, and without cleaning anything, I want to see where that leak is, because I'm pretty sure you didn't do the oil pan gasket right. I said, I'll do you one better. I said, I'll let you come out to the shop while we raise it up. So we both walk under it together. He goes, okay, that'll be fine. So we rack it, and as it starts going up, we all walk out there. His wife is there, and he's there, and I'm there. Got my flashlight. We look underneath it, and it does have an oil leak. And I look at the oil pan, completely dry. Well, the front of it was a little bit wet, but I said, but you could see where the oil was coming from. I said, look, it's coming from your front cover. I said, it's leaking from on top. There's a timing chain cover seal on Chevys. And I got, look, it's right up here. You can see it up behind the water pump. You can see it dripping down. Shine my flashlight right on it, and it drips down, onto the ground. He goes, well, now that he realizes it's not the oil pan, he said, well, why didn't you see that before? I said, well, it wasn't leaking before. He says, well, I just find it really odd that you had nothing to do with this. I said, I know, you're going to tell me how car smart you are. Remember, his wife's there.
Yes.
His wife's standing there. And I said, I want you to explain something to you. Your car is like 14 years old.
Yeah.
It has a lot of hot summers, and it's gone through a lot of freezing cold winters. And it's got 190,000 miles on it. Now, I replaced the oil pan gasket because that gasket had 190,000 miles on it. A lot of summers, a lot of winters, and it finally gave out. Guess what, car smart genius? All of the other seals and gaskets on your engine, they also have 190,000 miles on them.
Right.
They've also gone through 14 summers and 14 winters. You don't think they're ready to go too? And when you're dealing with water leaks like coolant or you're dealing with oil pressure leaks, I said, so your oil pan leaks and the oil starts coming out there. The pressure inside that engine, the crankcase pressure, now has a place to go. It leaks out there. As soon as you seal it up, it's like you walking up to a dam and putting your finger in a hole. The pressure goes to the next one, and that begins to leak. And you take your finger and put it in the other hole in the dam. That's what you do. You run around the dam. The dam's a really old dam, and it's got a lot of points that are going to leak. And as soon as you seal one, another one's going to show up. It's the same thing with cars. You have all of these gaskets and seals that have 190,000 miles on them. They're all about ready to leak. You want to fix one, the next one will leak. You want to fix the next one, there'll be one after that. I brought it up to your wife that we should reseal the whole thing if you really wanted to. And she said she didn't have the money for it right now. Please fix what we saw. And yet you come back here trying to be all Mr. Car Smart. This is just basic common sense that any jabroni knows. You didn't even have to get off your couch at home when it was leaking. Your couch at home, you should have been able to say, well, honey, he fixed the one leak. There's a lot of other gaskets and seals that are leaking. Probably another one leaked. Probably just a different one leaked, you know?
Right.
You should have said that to her, but no. You come down here trying to be the hero, and now I got to put you in your place in front of your chick, which is not what I wanted to do. But believe me, I'm not going to have you tell me that I don't know how to do my fucking
I've heard
job.
you tell that story multiple times to
Well,
multiple people.
Yeah, not that story about those people.
No. I'm talking about that same analogy about,
Yeah.
the dam with you've said that to people before because lots
they
of
get
people
it.
have done that. Yeah.
But they understand, like, oh, I got you. There's a bunch of seals. There's a
Right.
bunch of gaskets. They're all old. They're all ready
Right.
to go.
And a lot of times you always told them when you fix something, you always prefaced it like, hey, we just put something new on this car. You never know what's going to happen
Yeah,
after.
you don't know what's going to happen now. I'm telling you, this is like you put a transmission in a vehicle, and then I sell the guy. I say, well, I told you we should go through your drive lines and maybe replace those U joints and stuff.
Right.
You've had a slipping transmission for 3 years. Now you got something that's going to hit hard. You might, and sure enough, it comes back and the new engine or the new transmission's real strong and tough. Now it's damaging some other stuff, and I'm like, I told you, some of your stuff's worn out.
Exactly. I've heard you say that multiple
I always
times.
warn people of what could happen and what I see. I try to look at
Yeah.
everything and go, listen, we just did. It's like you put a power steering pump on, and the moment you put it on, a pump that is actually pumping high pressure blows out all the other lines and hoses. You're like,
Oops.
it's like, well, I know that the whole thing was weak now, but the alternative is, and this is what people don't understand, to cover your ass, the alternative is to sell them everything. You could say, well, I'm going to fix this oil leak, but I got to reseal your whole engine. Well, you got to, then people
That's a
say,
cost. That's a big cost.
and people accuse you of stealing. Like, oh, you're just saying that. All right, I'll fix what you want, but don't be mad at me later. I'll put your transmission in, but don't be mad if something else down the line gets gets messed up because that transmission is now shifting hard and strong. I'm telling you right now, we should go through some of this and look. They don't want to. But then when you try to sell them that stuff, they think, oh, you're just gouging me. Fuck, I'm not gouging you. I'm preparing you. This is
as long as you warn them.
Well, you think that solves it? You could say, I warned you. And they say, well, that doesn't matter. You should have tried harder to convince me. No, all I got to do is write it down on the paper. I suggested they reseal the engine. Customer declined. That's the end of my responsibility. I'm not going to hold your hand and tell you a story. Just figure it out.
Hey, you're just as bad when you're the customer.
Well, I relish being that guy because now I know how to be a customer. I do that almost on purpose, a little payback. So,
Brother. So, all righty. I think we're done for today.
how long have we been on?
Hour 5.
Didn't even make an hour. You hit that car story before an hour.
What?
Yeah. 58 minutes as I'm finishing. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be an hour when you stop talking.
You know what? I'm with you on this. Sitting with you, time has drug on.
For sure.
It has felt like forever.
Ever. I feel the same way. I feel the same exact way.
I don't know if we've been broadcasting on the butt the whole time. I think we have. I think it came through, but
Aren't you a broadcast professional checking it?
isn't that more of an engineer professional?
You're it.
I'm just the guy behind the microphone. I don't know how the gear
You're
works.
the engineer.
Well, it looks like Streamlabs recorded the whole time. It
Thank
looks
God.
like the PodTrack recorded the whole time. And it appears that the butt has been broadcasting on kgxtradio.com the entire time.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
All right. Well, say goodnight, Gracie, and we'll get out of here.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for, if you had an hour of your day to waste, thank you for choosing to waste it here with Gen X Talks, the podcast live, KGXT Radio, or if you listen to it in what we call a rerun, which is the broadcasting after the broadcasting. Those of you from Generation X understand what a rerun is. The rest of you have no idea. You can leave now, go Google it, then you can be part of the club too. Thank you for tuning in around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember two things. Number one, wherever you go in life, well, there you are. And number two, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. And I'm out.